We're going to start things off with the king of all body weight exercises, the push-up. Today we're going to do 5 different types of push-ups you guys can incorporate into your workouts to build bigger arms and bigger chest, so get ready. One of the best ways to develop muscle during an exercise is to stop any potential momentum during that exercise. So during the full stop push-up, you're going all the way down to the floor, you bring your chest all the way down to the ground, and then exploding back up to a full extension. You're gonna feel your pecs working during that bottom position of the press until you lock out your arms. Anywhere between 10 to 15 reps is all you're gonna need for this exercise. Similar to the full stop push-up is the isometric push-up, where you're pausing on the bottom of the push-up, but your chest is 2 inches or so above the ground. So you're not going completely to the ground. You're holding yourself up, creating an isometric contraction in the pecs, and this creates what's called more time under tension. So you're basically making your muscles work harder for a longer period of time, which translates to more muscle hypertrophy. Another great way to create more time under tension with your muscles is to do what's called eccentric push-ups. We're actually about 20% stronger during the eccentric phase of a push-up and most exercises. So if you've ever noticed that when you bench press, for example, it's a lot easier to bring the barbell down your chest as opposed to pushing it back up. That's because we can handle more resistance during the eccentric phases. So slowly bring yourself down to the bottom position of the push-up before pressing yourself back up to full extension. Here we have what's called a tiger push-up. So this is a little bit more of a tricep dominant push-up variation. So to get yourself set up, have your hands set about shoulder width apart. You're going to shift your weight back so you fall down to your forearms, and your hips are going to raise up a little bit higher than a regular push-up position. And then you're going to shift your weight back forward on your hands and then push yourself back up to full extension. This almost simulates what's known as a Russian dip exercise, but in a push-up position. So like I said, very tricep dominant, and you do about 10 or 15 reps is all you're going to need. So last but certainly not least is the pec pop and push-up. I'm actually borrowing this one from Joe DeFranco. This one is probably my favorite push-up variation out of the 5 that we did today. So you can see here that I'm holding the top position of the push-up, but I'm not just holding this position. I'm actually trying to squeeze my hands together as hard as I can without actually moving them. So I'm creating a strong isometric contraction in the pecs at the top part of the push-up. So you can see here I'm pushing up, I'm squeezing hard, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then dropping back down and repeating for about 10 reps. 10 reps is all you're going to need, I promise you, if you're doing this correctly. So again, squeeze as hard as you can, drag your hands together without moving them, and then make those pecs work for a hard, long period of time. Create more time under tension. One of my favorite back exercises are the YWT formations. So you can see here I'm making a YWT shape with my arms, holding each position for about 2 seconds. I'm trying to squeeze my shoulder blades together as hard as I can in each position. You can do about a 2-second count each formation for a total of like 4 to 5 reps each position. Or alternatively, what you can do is, like as I'm showing here, you can hold each position on its own for about a 20 to 30 second count. And the whole time I'm trying to squeeze as hard as I can in each position, creating a good contraction in the small upper back muscles. The benefit of doing this is that we can't really cheat this movement. There's no way we could use momentum or compensate movement. So we're targeting those small muscle groups in the upper back that we don't get from heavy rows. Here we have handcuffs. I think this is probably my favorite upper body weight exercise you can do, because you can do it basically anywhere. You don't need any equipment, as all the exercises we're doing here today, you don't need any equipment. But this one it's not only a great exercise to build your upper back muscles, it's a great shoulder warm-up, and it's a great way to help stretch out the pecs as well by bringing your hands around. So you can see here I'm stretching my arms out into a Y formation, coming around and making a big circle. And then I retract my shoulder blades when I bring my hands behind my lower back here. I can squeeze together, bring it down, stretch it out, make a big circle. And I'm pretending that I have 2 Sharpies in my hands, and I'm trying to make as big of a circle as I can as I come around. This might look easy, but I guarantee you your upper back is going to be on fire when you do this, and you will be amazed at the amount of muscle that this exercise adds to your upper back. I guarantee it. 10 to 15 reps for about 2 to 4 sets is all you're going to need. So we got to work the legs because no one wants to look like a light bulb or like Johnny Bravo. So we're going to do what's called an isometric squat position. So basically we're just holding that bottom position of the squat for about a 3 to 5 second count. We're trying to squeeze our glutes and our quads as hard as we can while we're in this position, and then exploding back up during the concentric phase of the squat. So think about initiating the movement with the hips by setting your hips back, sitting deep into the squat, keeping your chest upright, and then coming back up. And remember, as we saw with the push-ups, another way to make our muscles work harder for a longer period of time is to control the eccentric phase of the exercise. So eccentric squats basically call for slow, controlled movement during the lowering portion of the squat. We're going to focus on keeping good tension in the quads, keeping our chest upright, coming back up in a explosive manner during the concentric phase of the squat, and then we're going to be squeezing our glutes and pushing our hips through as we come up, and anywhere between 10 to 20 reps or so is going to be enough for this exercise. A couple of lunge variations we're going to do. The first one is a partial walking lunge, so you basically come up in a half rep each position, so you're kind of like going down and up. This creates more time under tension and makes your glutes and your hamstrings and your quads work a little bit harder. Another variation of the lunge you can do is what's called a low ceiling lunge. So we're basically pretending that we have a low ceiling above our head and we're not coming up to full extent. We're making those muscles work extra hard to be in that lunge position. Okay guys, hope you enjoyed.